The Young and the Restless Tuesday, May 5 update. Genoa City is once again preparing for another dramatic day filled with secrets, emotional confrontations, and shocking developments that could change several lives at once. Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless is expected to bring major tension to the Newman family, while old suspicions rise again surrounding Sienna Bacall and the mysterious truth about Matt Clark. At the center of the emotional storm is Nikki Newman, who may soon receive heartbreaking news involving her son, Nick Newman. While Nikki has faced many painful moments over the years, this latest update could hit harder than expected. Nick has been quietly dealing with personal struggles, and now the truth may finally come out. Nick has always been known as one of the more grounded members of the Newman family. Compared to the chaos often created by Victor, Adam, or even Victoria, Nick has usually tried to be the calm and reasonable one. But even the strongest people can carry hidden pain, and it seems Nick has reached a point where he can no longer handle everything on his own. According to the latest developments, Nick is preparing to enter an outpatient treatment program as he works to regain control of his life. This decision suggests that whatever he has been dealing with has become serious enough that professional help is necessary. Though he may be ready to face the challenge, it certainly won't be an easy road. When Nikki learns about Nick's condition, her reaction is expected to be emotional and intense. As a mother, seeing her son suffer is painful enough. But for Nikki, the situation may feel even more personal because of her own long history with addiction and recovery. Nikki has spent years battling alcoholism, and viewers know how difficult that journey has been for her. She has faced relapse, shame, family disappointment, and personal pain. Because of that, Nikki understands better than most what Nick may be feeling right now. She knows the fear, the loneliness, and the struggle that comes with trying to heal. That connection could make this moment incredibly powerful. Nikki may want to comfort Nick, guide him, and remind him that recovery is possible. She knows firsthand that asking for help is not weakness, it is strength. Nick choosing treatment may be one of the bravest things he has ever done. Still, Nikki's heartbreak will be impossible to hide. No parent wants to hear that their child is suffering in silence. She may begin questioning whether she missed warning signs or whether she could have done something sooner. That guilt is common for parents, especially mothers who deeply care for their children. At the same time, Nick may struggle with shame of his own. Many people who seek help worry about disappointing their loved ones. Nick might fear how Nikki, Victor, and the rest of the family will respond. He may wonder whether people will judge him or see him differently. But the truth is, this storyline could reveal a more vulnerable side of Nick than viewers have seen in a long time. Instead of being the strong one helping everyone else, he now becomes the person needing support. That shift may create emotional scenes that resonate strongly with fans. The bigger question is how Victor Newman will react. Victor has always expected strength from his children. He believes in power, discipline, and control. While he may care deeply for Nick, Victor often struggles to show compassion in softer ways. If Nick opens up about needing treatment, Victor may not know how to respond properly. This could create even more tension between Victor and Nikki. Rather than coming together to support Nick, their own unresolved issues may keep them apart. They have both been stubborn lately, and neither one seems willing to apologize or admit fault. In another world, Nick's situation could have been the very thing that reunited them. A family crisis often reminds people what truly matters. But in Genoa City, pride often gets in the way of healing. Nikki and Victor may continue keeping emotional walls between them, even when their son needs unity the most. That could leave Nikki feeling isolated once again. She may want Victor beside her during this painful moment, but if he refuses to lower his guard, the distance in their marriage may grow deeper. Meanwhile, Nick himself may feel caught in the middle. He could become frustrated watching his parents focus on their own problems while he is trying to take real steps toward recovery. That frustration might lead to difficult conversations in the days ahead. Still, there is hope in this storyline. Nick admitting he needs help is an important turning point. Many people wait too long before taking that step. By entering treatment now, he may be preventing things from becoming worse. Recovery is never simple, but the decision to begin matters more than anything. Fans may also appreciate seeing a realistic and emotional story centered around healing, accountability, and family support. Soap operas often thrive on betrayal and secrets, but sometimes their most powerful moments come through honesty and personal growth. Nick's road ahead may include setbacks, difficult emotions, and moments of doubt. But if he stays committed, he could emerge stronger than ever. The biggest challenge may not just be treatment itself, it may be learning to lean on others and accept love when he needs it most. For Nikki, this may become a reminder that recovery is lifelong and family healing is complicated. For Victor, it may be a chance to choose compassion over pride. And for Nick, it may be the start of a brand new chapter. Tuesday's episode is shaping up to be deeply emotional, especially for the Newman family. With secrets coming into the light and relationships under pressure, viewers should prepare for heartfelt scenes and difficult truths. And this is only the beginning. Nick's shocking revelation could send waves across Genoa City, affecting not only Nikki and Victor, but everyone close to him. The question now is whether the family will come together or fall further apart when it matters most. While the Newman family is dealing with emotional turbulence on one side of Genoa City, another intense situation is building on the legal front, where Christine Blair Romolotti is preparing to take firm action against Phyllis Summers. This storyline is quickly turning into another high-stakes battle, and neither woman seems ready to back down. Christine has always been known for her strong sense of justice and her determination when it comes to legal matters. Once she commits to a case, she follows through with full focus. And in this situation, she appears fully prepared to move forward with formal charges that could put Phyllis in serious trouble. Phyllis, on the other hand, is no stranger to conflict. Over the years, she has built a reputation for being bold, unpredictable, and fiercely protective of herself. She rarely accepts defeat easily, and even when cornered, she tends to fight her way out of difficult situations. That is exactly what makes this upcoming confrontation so explosive. According to the latest developments, Christine will not just file paperwork or make quiet legal moves. Instead, she is expected to take a more direct approach. She may arrive with police officers, effectively cornering Phyllis and forcing her to face the consequences of the ongoing case. This moment will likely be intense and emotionally charged. Being confronted publicly, especially with law enforcement involved, is never easy. For Phyllis, it could feel like the walls are closing in, even if she has been in similar situations before. However, fans know Phyllis Summers never stays down for long. Even if she is temporarily placed in custody, her time there may be short-lived. Bail is expected to be posted, allowing her to regain her freedom relatively quickly. But freedom does not mean the problem is over. In fact, this may only escalate the tension between her and the Newman circle. Once she is released, Phyllis is expected to come out even more determined to fight back. She may feel targeted, frustrated, and possibly betrayed by the system and the people involved in bringing charges against her. That emotional pressure could push her into making bold and risky decisions. At this point, the conflict is no longer just legal, it is personal. Phyllis has a long and complicated history with many powerful families in Genoa City, especially the Newmans. Trust has always been fragile, and alliances shift quickly. So when legal pressure builds, it often spills into personal revenge and deeper emotional conflict. Christine's involvement adds another layer of intensity. She is not acting emotionally or impulsively, she is approaching the situation with legal structure and purpose. That makes her even more dangerous in Phyllis's eyes, because it becomes harder to manipulate or predict the outcome. Meanwhile, Phyllis may begin to feel increasingly isolated. Even if she has allies, legal trouble tends to push people into defensive mode. Friends may hesitate, support may weaken, and she could find herself standing alone against multiple forces. Still, anyone who knows Phyllis understands one thing clearly: she does not give up easily. She may start planning her next move almost immediately after the bail situation is resolved. Whether that involves gathering information, exposing secrets, or turning the tables on her opponents, Phyllis is likely to respond with strategy rather than surrender. This sets the stage for a growing rivalry that could extend well beyond this single incident. Christine's legal path and Phyllis's emotional retaliation may continue to collide in unexpected ways, creating ongoing tension in Genoa City.
What makes this storyline even more interesting is the contrast between both women. Christine represents order, structure, and law. She follows rules, builds cases carefully, and believes in consequences. Phyllis represents chaos, instinct, and survival. She reacts quickly, adapts under pressure, and often operates outside traditional boundaries. When these two personalities clash, the result is never simple. It becomes a battle of control versus resistance, patience versus impulsiveness, and law versus survival instinct. As Tuesday's episode unfolds, viewers can expect a strong legal confrontation, emotional breakdowns, and possibly the beginning of a longer conflict that will not be resolved quickly.
At the same time, this storyline is happening alongside Nick Newman's personal struggle and the ongoing tension within the Newman family. That means Genoa City is being hit from multiple directions at once: legal pressure on one side, emotional crisis on another. And in soap opera fashion, these storylines often begin to connect in unexpected ways. A legal decision here could influence a personal relationship there. A family crisis might shift priorities in another conflict. Nothing in Genoa City exists in isolation, and that is what keeps the drama constantly evolving. For now, Christine and Phyllis remain locked on a collision course.
One is enforcing the law. The other is preparing to fight back. And neither is backing down.
While tension rises in the Newman family and legal pressure builds around Phyllis Summers, another mystery is quietly developing in Genoa City involving Sienna Bacall and her hidden past. This storyline is slowly opening new questions that could connect to much bigger secrets than anyone originally expected. At the center of this mystery is Sharon Newman, who continues trying to understand what Sienna is hiding. Sharon has already attempted once to get answers, but that first approach did not go well. The conversation quickly turned uncomfortable, and Sienna ultimately walked away, refusing to share more details. That moment only increased suspicion. Now Sharon is trying a different strategy. Instead of pushing too aggressively, she is attempting to approach Sienna in a calmer and more controlled way. The goal is not to scare her off again, but to slowly uncover the truth about her past and her connection to certain events in Genoa City. One of the biggest unanswered questions revolves around Matt Clark, also known as Mitch in certain circles. For viewers, this is where things get especially complicated. Matt Clark has a dark history in Genoa City, and his name alone brings back dangerous memories for several characters. While it was believed that Matt's story had reached a final conclusion, new developments suggest otherwise. In fact, there is growing evidence that his storyline is far from finished.
Sienna's connection to him is still unclear, but it is becoming more important with every passing moment.
Sharon suspects that Sienna may know more than she is willing to admit, especially about how her relationship with Matt or Mitch began and what really happened behind closed doors.
Sienna, however, is not an easy person to read.
She appears cautious, defensive, and deeply protective of her personal history.
The more questions Sharon asks, the more Sienna seems to withdraw emotionally.
That behavior often suggests one of two things: either she is hiding something serious, or she is afraid of what revealing the truth could lead to. This creates a delicate situation.
Sharon is trying to gather information without pushing Sienna away completely. If she applies too much pressure, Sienna may shut down entirely or disappear from the conversation again. But if she backs off too much, important clues could be lost.
It is a difficult balance.
Meanwhile, viewers should remember that Genoa City secrets rarely stay hidden forever.
When a character refuses to talk about their past, it often means that their story is tied to something bigger, something that could affect multiple people.
Sienna's silence is starting to feel intentional rather than accidental. There is also a growing sense that Matt Clark's presence in this storyline is not just symbolic. Even though many believe his chapter should be closed, soap opera history often proves otherwise. Characters thought to be gone sometimes return in unexpected ways, or their influence continues through other people connected to them. Sharon may soon find herself pulled deeper into a situation that is far more dangerous than a simple personal investigation. At the same time, Sienna is under pressure too. Even if she is not directly involved in anything illegal or harmful, being connected to someone with a dark history can create fear and emotional stress. She may be worried about judgment, exposure, or consequences tied to her past decisions. That fear could explain her resistance to Sharon's questions. But avoidance rarely solves anything in Genoa City. In fact, it usually makes situations more complicated. As long as key details remain hidden, suspicion will continue to grow, and people will keep digging for answers. Sharon, in particular, is not likely to let this go easily. Once she senses that something important is being concealed, her determination tends to increase rather than fade. That could lead to more direct questioning, deeper investigation, and possibly even confrontation if she believes Sienna is holding back critical information. This storyline is still in its early stages, but it already feels like it is building toward a larger reveal. Sienna's past, Matt Clark's connection, and Sharon's growing curiosity are all pieces of a puzzle that has not yet been fully revealed. And as with most mysteries in Genoa City, the truth is rarely simple. It often comes with consequences. As Tuesday's episode continues, viewers can expect more tension between Sharon and Sienna, subtle hints about hidden relationships, and possibly the first real signs that this mystery is tied to something far more serious than anyone initially thought. And just like the other storylines unfolding this week, nothing here is isolated. Every secret in Genoa City has a way of connecting back to another. As the pressure continues to build across Genoa City, the emotional impact of Nick Newman's situation is starting to ripple outward, affecting not just Nikki and Victor, but the entire Newman family dynamic. At the same time, the legal storm surrounding Phyllis Summers and Blair is escalating, creating a city full of tension, uncertainty, and shifting alliances. Nick's decision to enter an outpatient treatment program is becoming one of the most important turning points in his recent life. While it is a responsible and brave step, it also opens the door to emotional challenges that cannot be ignored. Recovery is never a straight path. There are good days and difficult days, moments of clarity and moments of doubt. Nick may already understand that this journey will test him in ways he has not experienced before. Even with support, personal healing requires patience, discipline, and emotional strength. For Nikki Newman, this reality is deeply painful. She has spent years trying to rebuild herself after her own struggles with addiction. Because of that, she understands what Nick is facing on a very personal level. She knows how easy it is to fall, how difficult it is to stand back up, and how much courage it takes to admit when help is needed. Seeing her son go through a similar process may bring back memories she has tried hard to move past. At the same time, Nikki's emotional reaction is not just about fear, it is also about love. She wants to protect Nick, support him, and make sure he knows he is not alone in this fight. But emotional support in the Newman family is never simple, especially when Victor Newman is involved. Victor's reaction is expected to be more complicated. He is a man who values strength, control, and resilience. While he deeply cares for his family, he does not always express vulnerability in a direct or emotional way. Instead, he often focuses on solutions, actions, and control over the situation. That difference in approach could create distance between Victor and Nikki once again. Instead of coming together over Nick's crisis, they may continue to remain emotionally separated. Old wounds, pride, and unresolved tension are still present in their relationship, and this situation may not be enough to immediately heal those issues. In fact, it may highlight them even more. Nick's situation could have been the moment that brought the family closer. In many cases, shared concern over a loved one can break down barriers and rebuild trust. But in this case, emotional walls remain firmly in place. This creates a complicated environment for Nick himself. While he is trying to focus on recovery, he may also feel the weight of family expectations and emotional distance. Knowing that his parents are not fully united in support could add additional pressure during an already fragile time. That emotional complexity is part of what makes this storyline so impactful. It is not just about addiction or recovery, it is also about relationships, communication, and the difficulty of emotional connection within a powerful family like the Newmans. Meanwhile, across Genoa City, Phyllis Summers is dealing with her own form of pressure. Even after being temporarily cornered by Christine and law enforcement, Phyllis is expected to remain defiant. Her release on bail does not signal an end to her problems. Instead, it marks the beginning of a deeper conflict that could grow more intense in the coming days. Phyllis is not someone who easily accepts defeat. When she feels targeted or cornered, her instinct is to push back. That resistance often turns into bold decisions that can either help her or make things more complicated.
And with Christine continuing to move forward legally, the tension between them is far from over. Both storylines, Nick's recovery and Phyllis's legal battle, are unfolding at the same time, creating a layered emotional atmosphere in Genoa City.
One is about healing and vulnerability. The other is about conflict and resistance.
And both are putting pressure on powerful families and relationships in very different ways. As Tuesday's episode continues, viewers can expect emotional conversations, strained family dynamics, and the growing realization that no one in Genoa City is truly untouched by these events. Every decision being made right now is shaping what comes next.
As everything continues unfolding in Genoa City, the final layer of Tuesday's developments brings all the emotional pressure, hidden motives, and personal conflicts into sharper focus.
From the Newman family's internal struggle to the ongoing legal war involving Phyllis Summers, and the mysterious past surrounding Sienna Bacall, every storyline is moving toward deeper consequences.
Nick Newman's recovery journey remains the emotional center of the Newman family right now.
His decision to enter outpatient treatment is not just a personal step, it is a turning point that could redefine how the family interacts going forward.
For Nick, this is about rebuilding control over his life. But recovery also forces honesty.
It means facing emotions that were ignored, confronting habits that developed over time, and accepting support even when pride makes it difficult. Nick will likely experience moments where he feels strong and motivated, but also moments where doubt creeps in and everything feels overwhelming.
That emotional instability is part of the process. Nikki Newman's role in this phase becomes even more important.
She is not just a concerned mother, she is someone who has lived through a similar battle herself. Her experience gives her insight, but it also brings emotional weight. Every step Nick takes may remind her of her own struggles, both past and present.
That connection can be healing, but also painful.
Victor Newman's reaction continues to remain distant and controlled, which adds another layer of tension within the family. Instead of openly engaging with emotional vulnerability, Victor is more likely to focus on structure, decisions, and maintaining authority over the situation.
This difference in emotional expression keeps Nikki and Victor divided. Even in a moment where unity would help their son, pride and unresolved issues continue to stand in the way.
That emotional gap may widen if neither side is willing to compromise or communicate more openly.
Across town, Christine Blair's legal pursuit of Phyllis Summers continues to intensify. Phyllis may have temporarily escaped long-term custody, but the legal pressure is still active and growing.
Christine is moving forward with determination, making it clear that this case is not going away easily. The involvement of law enforcement signals that the situation has escalated beyond private conflict and into formal consequences. For Phyllis, this means constant pressure. Even outside custody, she is not truly free from the situation. Every step forward in her life is now influenced by legal uncertainty and the possibility of further action. That kind of pressure often pushes Phyllis into defensive mode, where she becomes more strategic, more cautious, and sometimes more unpredictable. Her next moves could define how this battle unfolds. At the same time, Sienna Bacall's mysterious past continues to quietly develop in the background. Sharon Newman's growing suspicion suggests that there is still more to uncover, especially regarding Sienna's connection to Matt Clark, also known as Mitch.
Sienna's reluctance to open up raises even more questions. Is she protecting herself, or protecting someone else?
That uncertainty is what makes the storyline so compelling.
In Genoa City, silence is rarely innocent. When someone refuses to share their past, it often means there are deeper connections or unresolved events waiting to surface. Sharon's curiosity is not fading, it is increasing.
And as she continues to piece together clues, she may find herself drawn deeper into a situation that connects multiple people and past events in unexpected ways.
By the end of Tuesday's episode, one thing becomes clear. Nothing in Genoa City is happening in isolation.
Nick's recovery, Phyllis's legal battle, and Sienna's hidden history may seem like separate stories, but the emotional energy behind them is interconnected. Each storyline reflects themes of truth, consequences, and personal struggle. And as always in The Young and the Restless, the biggest revelations often come when characters least expect them.
This is only the beginning of what could become even more dramatic twists in the days ahead.